Hello everyone, this is my first YouTube video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at my new unifi network, which I recently set up a month and a half ago. I'd like to give a shout out to Mac Telecom Networks for his great videos that he made covering this. And in this video we'll be covering my firewall rules, my networks, my wireless networks, as well as some cool Ubiquiti features that I'm using. Okay, let's get straight into it. So the first we have all 5 of these networks: management, security, IoT, network, and guest. This one is the main network. I use Pi-hole for DNS, so all of these besides the main network are using Google DNS because I didn't want any of the ad blocking to affect the IoT devices or any of the people on the guest network. So the only one that uses the Pi-hole is the Heaven network. And then for Wi-Fi, the only Wi-Fi network I don't have is for the management. That's a physical network only. Okay, now let's go into security. So, as I mentioned, Mac Telecom has a great video on how to set up Ubiquiti for your first time. And I'll put a link to that in the description. That's the one I followed initially. So that's a great video. So this is a rule that he recommends to create in that video. Allow established and related except any established related. So that's the first rule I have set up. Second rule is this one: limit guest to 100. And the reason I did this is because I have gigabit internet, but I just want to limit to get the guests to something reasonable. Let's go right here. Okay, so right here, allow Davey PC to have an atlas. This is the PC I'm currently making the video on. Have an atlas is the DNS, the Pi-hole, and this pretty much, actually I'll do it from bottom to top because that'll make more sense. So this one, allow Heaven Network to have an atlas. This is the only network using Pi-hole on any port because I was having some problems doing it just the DNS port. So that allows it on any port. And then this rule blocks HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, so the devices can't reach the have an atlas on any of those ports. So I don't want them to accidentally go into it or anything. And then this one counteracts that rule, and it allows my phone to go to Heaven Atlas, so I could use the Pi-hole app from my phone to enable or disable ad blocking. And then this rule is the same thing but for my PC. And that's everything in LAN. So next we'll go to LAN local. So we'll start from the bottom again. So this is a block Heaven guest to other VLANs gateway. So he'll talk about this in the video. You want to isolate your networks, which is obvious, for security reasons. And even if you isolate your networks using this rule, the gateways will still be accessible. The other networks gateways will still be accessible. So you want to just block the other gateways. So what I have set up here is I have Heaven guest, which is this network, and then after block Heaven guest to all gateways besides Heaven guest. So 192.1.1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, the Heaven guest is 5.1. That's its gateway. So you don't want to do 5.1 because then it can't communicate to its gateway. But you might be thinking, well, I want it to I don't want them to have access to the interface, and that's something we'll get to. I have another rule set up for that, which he talks about. So next rule is the same thing as this rule but for Heaven network. So drop Heaven network to 1, 2, 3, 5 because the Heaven network is 4.1. So it blocks everything, all gateways except its gateway. Heaven IoT 1, 2, 4, 5 because Heaven IoT is 3, so it needs access to its own gateway. Heaven security is 2, so 1, 3, 4, 5 because it needs access to its own gateway. And then this is the rule that doesn't allow them to go to the interfaces. So Mac Telecom set up different separate rules for each network, but I just found it cleaner to be like this, which is so this rule is block VLANs to UDM interface. All VLANs except default. Here, you guys can take a look at that. All VLANs except default, so 2, 3, 4, 5. My default is 1. And then to all VLANs gateway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. HTTP, HTTPS, SSH. So this blocks all of the VLANs except the management to reach any of the VLANs interface. I found it easier to make one rule instead of a bunch of ones. It just keeps it a bit neater. So I'll take a look at one of these rules for you guys, just so you guys know how it's mapped out. And then, yep, that's it. And then after we have allow Davy phone to all network gateways, this is exactly how it sounds. It allows my phone to reach all the network gateways. And then this is the same thing, but for my PC. All gateways, 192, this is my PC address, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then 1.1, 1.1, 2.1, 3.1, 4.1. Yeah, same thing for both of these. Okay, now we could go into protection. So in the protection, I have honeypot set up. I don't have region blocking on. I have to do some more research before I enable that, because I want to see if it blocks any websites that are commonly used. So these, I have my honeypots set up, and then you guys could read this to see what the honeypots do. So, and then intrusion protection on, and then for all of the networks, notify and block. You don't want them just to notify you, because that's useless. If it notifies you, it has to block it too. And then the only exclusion I have set up as of now is going to be my Atlas, my Pi-hole DNS. So that's it with here. And then I don't have anything set up in here. Profiles, we could take a look at this. So this is how, if you want to set up a bulk of IP addresses or ports and not individually make a rule for all of them, like how I did here. You see how I put like 4 IP addresses in this, 5 IP addresses in this. You go to profiles, network objects, and you can create your objects here. So this is just RFC 1918, HTTP. This has all these ports. Heaven Atlas, all VLANs gateway, all VLANs except default, and then yeah, everything else. This is how it seems. So that's pretty much it. And then I have this is my switch setup. I have color mapping on the switch, so all of my office ports are green, all of my management ports are purple, IoT ports are yellow, and security ports are orange. So this is office, this is management. I'll put a picture as well in the end of the video, or in the thumbnail maybe. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. Besides that, we could take a look at the network topology. So it's coming from Frontier to my router to my switch, and then my switch to my switch to my access point, and then my access point to all these devices. I'm still in the process of migrating over. The reason you guys see only like 4 IoT leases right now, DHCP leases, is because I'm still in the process of I'm bringing over all of my IoT devices to the IoT network. And then the security network, I just have 2 devices on that. And then the management network, just 3. And then this one is the one with the most leases. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'm looking forward to hearing your guys' feedback. Thank you very much. Bye bye.